All right, good morning. Welcome to Southwest Flavor. Thank you for joining us on our 58th episode. Today we have Matt Horn of Steamy Concepts. Welcome.
Thanks, Ron.
How you doing? It's been a while since we've been able to catch up with each other.
It's been a while. I feel kind of flaky. I have things come up.
You're busy. I'm busy. You know, we just and we live on opposite sides of the world too.
Absolutely.
You're way out on the east, and I'm up here on the northwest. So
East side.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit to start off about Steamy Concepts.
Sure. So my wife and I started Steamy Concepts in '98. My story's kind of, if you've heard it, it's the same story. You know, I started with a Pinto wagon and an old portable carpet cleaning machine. You know, it was my grandma's Pinto wagon and my dad kind of had, and I needed something to haul it around, so it worked.
Okay.
And tear strips in apartment complex laundry rooms. So carpet cleaning for X price, and flyers on windows at grocery stores, and started getting phone calls. And I was framing houses at the time. I was delivering newspapers and framing houses. I kind of did a little bit of both.
Okay.
And I was making as much or more money on the weekends cleaning carpet doing that as I was, you know, working out in the sun.
Yeah.
And driving day and night throwing newspapers. So it made sense to just make a change.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm sure it was really scary. Were you already married when you started? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so we it was extremely scary.
You came home and you told your wife, "Hey, I think I'm going to jump into this full time."
I don't know if I even told her. I think I just was like, "Hey, I'm going to do this." And and you know, I was still working. I was doing both.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just made sense.
Yeah.
And you know, actually I don't think that I had to quit my job. I think I had gotten injured when I was framing. Something had happened. And so I was kind of at a point where I was in this in-between stage.
Okay.
And I remember, I won't say who it was, but the company that I worked for, the owner called me and he's like, "Hey, we haven't had this many like days off with an injury and I need you back to work." And he has been really demanding and I was actually hurt. And I pretty much lost the job.
Okay.
You know, so I didn't have a whole lot of options. And delivering newspapers is okay, but if anybody has ever delivered newspapers, it's 7 days a week. It's grueling.
Yeah, I used to help my friend in high school deliver newspapers. Yeah,
it seemed really cool because we felt like we were making good money, and then we realized we were paying it all for car payments, tires, and gas. So that didn't work out very well either.
Yeah,
but yeah, you know, I didn't really expect to go into business.
Oh,
yeah, it wasn't really my plan, and it just kind of started working. And when I decided that I was going to do it full time, I cracked open a phone book, if anybody remembers those. And I started in the A's and apartment complexes. So I was like, well, where can I get a lot of carpet cleaning work without a lot of effort? Because, you know, one house is one house is one house.
Right.
I thought, well, apartment complexes, you know, they have like 300 or 400 units sometimes. And if you get one apartment complex, you know, you probably clean half those units every year. And if you get two and multiply, you know, 5 and 10 apartment complexes, that was kind of my theory.
Sure.
And I remember some of the apartment names. Arizona Commons was one of them. It was by the U of A. Arboretum, Casa de Sherry. There were so many, but I remember those specifically.
Yeah.
And Desert Cove Apartments. We did a lot of work for Paul Ash as I was getting rolling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know, it was really good. I did a little bit of work for HSL. You know, it's super competitive though, and honestly, the carpet cleaning industry in the apartment world it's almost like a race to the bottom because, you know, it's all about budget. Yeah. So the apartment communities don't want to pay as much as they can. They want to pay as little as possible. Makes sense. Of course. Sure. So the next guy that comes in is a few bucks cheaper. So it didn't last very long. So we decided after a year or two that apartments were not really going to be our forte if we wanted to grow. Yeah. You know, moved into residential.
Okay. And then how did you get started, like, you know, gain your name out there? Did you jump into the yellow pages?
Well, I did, but that wasn't really how I started. Actually, Papermint. Do you remember Papermint?
Oh, yeah.
So Papermint is, you know, just another direct mail publication. Back then, direct mail was big. Phone books was the big thing, though. Phone books was like, you had
to be in the phone book.
If you were in the phone book, you were going to be big. Yeah. I got in the phone book too late, though. Like by the time I got in the phone book, it was when it became affordable and didn't work as much. Ah. Yeah. So that was. It didn't work great for me because it was kind of dying. And direct mail was doing really well. So we were getting a lot of work on direct mail. In fact, there was a publication called Swirl Gold that did really well for us for a long time. And my rep, you know, was really good. And then something changed there. I can't remember how they changed something there, and it just kind of started fizzling. I think they were closing. And Valpak had been reaching out to me a lot. I just was like, man, I'm not going to pay you guys. Like, there's no way, this is the best. And my rep, her name was Linda North. And she's like, look, what's it going to take? I said, give it to me free. She's like, okay, I'll put you in for a month for like the first one and no charge, and then super low after that for a couple months just to get me in.
Oh, wow.
And and it worked out. I think it was more like buy one, get one kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And I was so amazed by the results. It blew me away at the time. I mean, I was getting hundreds of calls.
Wow.
And we don't get that anymore at direct mail.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like, that was the big push for me when it was kind of like, okay, we found this is awesome.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a lot of other carpet cleaners advertising in it because, even though I got a deal at first, it wasn't cheap as we went on, but it proved itself to me.
Right. You got that return on the investment.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. Of course, back then we were also advertising like 2 rooms in a hall for $29.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, well, I mean, 27 years ago.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Carpet cleaning's changed a little bit since then.
Oh, just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And then the internet came along, right? And I don't know why I was so attracted to it, but I just felt like this had to be the thing. So I had a website before anybody else did. Like most business. Yeah, I think we had our website established by like 2000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And I fought that for so long.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
Everybody did. And I would tell people, when I would market or whatever I would do, people were like, website, like nobody cared. And I would tell them, and I remember then, AdSense was kind of like the Google AdWords back then. And AdSense, if I remember correctly, was shared with like Yahoo. Bing wasn't even Bing then, it was MSN or whatever.
Yeah.
Microsoft and of course Google. They all kind of like shared this advertising platform like AdWords today.
Oh wow, okay.
And it was super cheap. I mean, pennies.
Really?
So I did that, and I didn't really need to because I was like the only carpet cleaner that had a website anyway, and I was the only carpet cleaner with an ad. So I was just kind of, and it didn't take off real fast, but it did take off. Yeah. And to this day, we get like 20,000+ visitors a month to our website.
Wow.
Which is just an amazing amount of traffic.
Yeah.
And I attribute it to just Google really favors us well.
So, okay. You got into that algorithm or whatever.
Got into the algorithm, been there for a long time, brand strength. I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of web pages for everything imaginable that could be landing. So, wow. That's kind of to me, Google is king.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is. Google runs everything.
They do. And they're making us pay for it now.
They are. They are definitely. And so you're doing the carpet cleaning and all that. And then when did you decide to get into restoration? Early
2000s. It was kind of a weird situation, and the stories, I've told it so many times, so I'll simplify it. We lived in an apartment. The apartment had a phone number, apartment had their own phones. So instead of CenturyLink or whatever, they had some kind of a contract with whoever. So they had their own block of phones.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you wanted to have a phone at the apartments, you had to go through them. They were trying to monopolize on it. Yeah. So we had our phone through them. That was the phone number that I had on all my ads. And when we were moving to Rita Ranch, I made arrangements, transferred the number and everything. And the day we moved, the phone number wasn't working. And I went to track it down, and they said, "Oh, we weren't able to transfer that number because it's owned by the apartment community."
Wow!
So I lost it. Yeah. So all my ads that I had paid money for had that phone number on it.
Exactly.
Lost it. So it was devastating.
Yeah.
And it was really because we were still a month to month. Income, even with the advertising. I mean, we're running out of our house at the time. So
sure.
Long story short, I get a phone call from a guy about a week or two later, and he says, "Hey, is this Steamy Concepts?" And I said, "Yeah." He called my new number.
Okay.
And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, listen, I've got your old phone number." And he had moved into the apartments, and they gave him our number. And what's crazy is they told me that number wouldn't be given out for over a year. They immediately gave it to him.
Yeah.
And he worked for an insurance company. So he said, "Look, I'm going to put this on my answering machine, and I'll just tell people if they are looking for Steamy Concepts to call you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks. I didn't think anything of it."
Yeah.
Started getting jobs.
Huh.
So I had his number. I called him. I thanked him. I was like, "Look, if there's anything you need, I owe you big," because people were calling me saying, "Yeah, I called your number, and this answering machine said it said something like, if you're looking for a carpet cleaner, call Steamy Concepts at this number." That's literally what it said. So we got some jobs back from that. I thanked him, and he called me and asked me to go clean his couches months later because he was going to be moving out and getting married and stuff. So I went and I cleaned him. I didn't charge him.
Right.
I was real appreciative of that. And he kind of mentions, hey, listen, I might be looking for a water damage guy. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't really know what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Before I know it, he's calling me with jobs. He left the insurance company, went to work for a restoration company, did repairs, but they didn't do any water damage work. That's how they made their money, was the repairs.
Okay.
So he says, look, I need a water guy. So he calls me with the job. I show up. It's a house up in the foothills. It's got a sunken like room that's completely flooded. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, a foot and a half high of water.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need you to extract all this and, get it dry. So I'm like, okay. So I extract it. He says, do you have any air movers? I have like 2. I used them to dry carpet. So I put him in there, and his boss comes in the next day. He's like, what are you doing? There's not enough fans in here. I said, well, I'm drying. He said, you haven't opened walls yet? Like, what do you mean open walls? Like, you need to open walls. So he showed me what walls he wanted to open. I literally went around with like a hammer and feet and like kicked holes in the walls. I had no idea what they were expecting of me.
Yeah.
And he showed up the next day and he freaked out again. He's like, what is this? This is awful. You need to cut them. And you're not snapping lines and cutting the drywall. I have no idea what you want me to do. Well, he didn't realize that the guy that, had brought me out there didn't know that I wasn't really a water damage guy. Could do extraction and things like that. So that's how I got my first water damage job. And they helped me get a little bit more equipment. We got the job dry, cut it right, showed me what I need to do. I brought in some other carpet cleaners that I worked with, and we cut the walls and got it done. And at the end of the job, he's like, well, how much are you going to charge me for this? I said, I don't know. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a couple $1,000s for the job, which was better than anything I had made in a few days.
Right.
Cleaning carpet. And I was like, this is interesting. I kind of like this. and my wife, Lori's like, you haven't even figured out how to run the carpet cleaning business yet. Well, you have no business like tearing apart people's homes doing water damage. I was like, I got this. I had some framing background. I just needed to understand what I had to do.
Yeah.
So then the next job came along, and it was substantially bigger. And we established that relationship for about a year and grew pretty fast. And then that company decided they were going to close their doors in Tucson, and they're a Phoenix company.
Okay.
So the guy that I was friends with hooked me up with some American Family adjusters that were giving them work.
Okay.
And American Family made me like a vendor for them. So all of a sudden I'm getting certified. I've got my own equipment. We're starting to do water damage jobs. We're starting to make some money. Bills are getting paid. Money's
That's always
in the
a
bank.
good thing. Yeah.
I'm looking at carpet cleaning going, I don't know, man, but I couldn't give that up.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I started the company as a carpet cleaning company. I just could not let that go.
Right.
Even if it wasn't making much money, it was like, as silly as it seems, like that was my dream, just to own the carpet cleaning business. So I couldn't let it go. And thank God today that I didn't.
Right. Yeah. With that, let's take a quick sponsor break. We will be back in just a couple minutes with Southwest Flavor.
I've had water and mold damage in my house twice. Both times I freaked out, but I called Steamy Concepts right away. If anyone tries to tell you to use someone else, just say no way and call Steamy today.
About a year ago, we had a flood in our kitchen, and we didn't think to call anyone else but Steamy Concepts. They were very professional, and we really enjoyed working with Steamy Concepts.
Steamy Concepts accepts all homeowners insurance. Call Steamy today or go to steamyconcepts.com.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
It's July and we're celebrating Independence Day all month. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants to buy your old air conditioning unit. For the month of July, we will buy back your old AC unit for $1,776 with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning system. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockspooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
Looking for a delicious meal or a place to cater your next event? Visit Tucson Tamale Market, located at 7286 North Oracle Road. They're a family-friendly restaurant and market offering authentic tamales and local products. Don't miss out on their summer bi-weekly specials. Try a new $10.99 meal special every couple of weeks. During the summer, enjoy their gift card special. Buy $50 of gift cards for only $40. Stop by and see what's new at Tucson Tamale Market.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
You're listening to the Live the Dream Media Network, Arizona's premier live podcast studio and online radio.
We are back. We're talking with Matt Horn of Steamy Concepts. So we talked about the beginning of your business, and we talked about you being on the internet early on, which is pretty cool. I mean, like I said, I fought that for the longest time. We didn't have a website till, I don't know, maybe 2010.
Sure, so, yeah. A lot of people fought it.
Yeah. But you said that it pretty much opened up the floodgates for kind of everyone to be noticed.
Yeah. Completely.
It for both of us, it opened up our competition.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. A good example of that was like the keyword mold. Nobody wanted mold. Like when I've got really serious into water damage and mold and fire and stuff, I thought, well, mold, is the result of water damage.
Yeah.
But most people don't think of that, but they're scared of that. So I think that would be a good thing for us to be pursuing. And back then, like nobody wanted the keyword. I didn't have much competition. Sometimes I'd be on the page 3 or 4 times because there just wasn't a lot of people wanting to go after mold work because it's hard. It's hard. It's not low hanging fruit. You've got to, a lot of it is self-pay because customers don't have coverage for that. And it's more of a challenge. It's not as easy to do. You've got to be better certified. You have to have better insurance. So it's just a little bit harder to do that kind of work.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just didn't go after it. And now everybody's going after it. Everybody's like, oh, okay, well, we want that too. And they realize that water damage leads to mold.
Yeah.
And people should be thinking of mold when they get water damage because that's really what happens with water damage. It's not the water damage that gets you as much as it is the mold. So, yeah, that's just one example of it. But yeah, it's funny, used to be that you might have like an AdWords ad or 2 up in the top, and then you'd have like 5 people in the map listings, and then you'd have, the organic listings. And now you've got Google guaranteed LSA ads. Then you've got AdWords ads. Then you've got 3 in the map pack, and they throw another sponsored ad in there. And then, 2/3 of the way down the page, you've got maybe 3 or 4 organic results that if you get lucky enough people to get to them. So yeah, Google's really figured out how to make a lot of money doing that.
They have.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Bad for us.
Yeah. And I wanted to also stress to everyone that you guys are still a locally owned business.
Yes.
You haven't been taken over by private equity or any kind of investors or
Correct.
Some outside group.
Yep. We're still locally owned and operated. My wife and I are in the office every day. I'm not going to say that I'm the first one there, the last one to go, but I'm there before a lot of people. And I stay there longer than a lot of people. So, this is how we survive. And we look at our employees like our family.
Right.
We've got 100 plus employees, so we have 100 families to feed. It's important to stay involved.
It is. And then you guys are also involved a lot with the community.
We try. I'm most interested in like youth sports programs because I think that sports produce like positivity. It teaches young adults and young kids how to be responsible, how to take ownership of things and accountability, which I think is, with my own kids, I think that's important.
Sure.
And, let's just kind of be honest, like our youth is, they're youth today, but in 10, 20, 30 years from now, they're going to be running of
yeah.
the businesses.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
you know, so it's important. And that's kind of why I focus on that over other things.
Right.
I like seeing these youngsters come up and, you know, sometimes we get lucky to watch them start out as young athletes and maybe they make it on to college and, you know, then maybe they make it on further than that. It's pretty cool to watch them.
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
it definitely is.
You know, to hear about it. And we're also involved with like the Vail School District. I mean, I would participate in all schools, but because I am so close to Vail and I've been a part of Vail for so long,
right?
We try to participate with things with like the Vail School District. You know, I think we're in the Vail Chamber of Commerce, and, you know, things like that. So we try to stay as involved as possible. And then the other thing that we really like to do is once a year, we do the Toys for Tots toy drives. And again, it's for kids, you know, so that's what makes it important to me. There was a time when we used to do breast cancer awareness.
Oh, okay.
I did it for a few years. It felt good, but it also, we got a lot of pushback, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, because I was donating a portion of proceeds to like Susan G. Komen. And apparently there's a lot of other things that Susan G. Komen supports, which a lot a lot of people don't like.
Okay.
So I would get some like little nasty emails and things like that. I'm like, I'm just trying to help a cause.
Yeah.
I'm not like 100% in agreement with everything they do, but breast cancer is important, so we should support it.
Right.
We even would wear pink shirts all month long. But it started to feel like we were kind of using that more as a marketing thing, you know, and I didn't feel good about it. So I thought, you know what, that is a very important topic and there's a lot of people covering it. I think we're going to focus on like Toys for Tots moving forward.
Okay.
And that was where we kind of switched gears because nobody could be mad at us for helping get toys for kids.
Right.
You know, and I know it sounds crazy, but that was just it. So, you know, you choose your charities, you don't always realize what else they're supporting that somebody might not agree with. So it became a little too controversial for me, but that's why we stick with the kids.
Okay.
You know, nobody's going to be mad about that.
Yep. Can you tell everyone how to get a hold of you guys if they have any needs?
Sure. I mean, you can just go on the internet and Google Steamy Concepts and you know, I stopped giving the phone number out.
Okay.
If you hear our radio ads or our TV commercials, we typically aren't saying the phone number much anymore because people forget. Now you have to add 520 when you dial the extra 3 numbers. So it's just better just go to steamyconcepts.com. Go to steamyconcepts.com. Once you do that, there's a button there. You can just hit it and call us. It's real easy. You can fill out a form and send it to us. I recommend that if it's not an emergency, but if you've got an emergency, call us. We're 24/7. Okay. Manning the phones 24/7.
Right. And this is your time of year. This is the monsoon time.
This is our time of year. I mean, we're pretty steady year round, but we expect, I mean, amazingly, humidity hasn't been that bad.
Right.
I've been really expecting it, but it's going to ramp up in the next week, hopefully starting today or tomorrow. And once those rains come in, the humidity comes in, everything's going to start failing.
Right.
Roofs are going to fail. HVAC units are going to start failing.
And you got the wind to go with it.
Once the ground starts getting really wet, it's going to shift a little bit. Some of that plumbing might fail. There's just so many things that are likely to fail and will fail.
Yeah.
And we'll be ready for them. So if anybody has that kind of a situation, any kind of a leak that requires water damage restoration, we're the guys to call. We'll go out there and get the water out and get it dry.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. We will be back in just a couple minutes with Southwest Flavor.
I've had water and mold damage in my house twice. Both times I freaked out, but I called Steamy Concepts right away. If anyone tries to tell you to use someone else, just say no way and call Steamy today.
About a year ago, we had a flood in our kitchen, and we didn't think to call anyone else but Steamy Concepts. They were very professional, and we really enjoyed working with Steamy Concepts.
Steamy Concepts accepts all homeowners insurance. Call Steamy today or go to steamyconcepts.com.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
It's July and we're celebrating Independence Day all month. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants to buy your old air conditioning unit. For the month of July, we will buy back your old AC unit for $1,776 with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning system. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockschooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Estrella Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
Looking for a delicious meal or a place to cater your next event? Visit Tucson Tamale Market, located at 7286 North Oracle Road. They're a family-friendly restaurant and market offering authentic tamales and local products. Don't miss out on their summer bi-weekly specials. Try a new $10.99 meal special every couple of weeks. During the summer, enjoy their gift card special. Buy $50 of gift cards for only $40. Stop by and see what's new at Tucson Tamale Market.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve, through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
You're listening to the Live the Dream Media Network, Arizona's premier live podcast studio and online radio.
All right, we are back, and I am so excited. We have our brand new podcast host, Blaire.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good.
And I listened to your podcast yesterday.
You did?
Yes, I did.
What do you think?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I loved it. It was great.
Awesome. We were just talking, a little bit earlier, and, I've been on podcasts before. I've had my own podcast, been doing the radio thing. I think this is my favorite thing to talk about is talking about, Jesus, the women in the Bible, and kind of just breaking down the Bible, because the one thing that I hear all the time is like, the Bible's too much, or it gets, over my head, or I don't know really how to just dive in.
Right.
So this is keeping it simple.
Okay.
And just kind of breaking it down. It's a Bible study is really what we're doing.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's really cool. And there's so many historical aspects of the Bible. I mean, really, when you want to know something historically, you go to the Bible and you can find that.
Yep. I mean, it's kind of our, depending on where, I guess, you've grown up or what you believe, it could be your moral compass.
Right.
It could be where you, solve a lot of your, head problems, heart problems. So many different answers are in there. It's helped me, which is, crazy, especially, real estate. It's stressful. It's exhausting. Yeah. I love it. I'm passionate about it. I love my clients, but I take a lot of it on personally.
Right.
I'm constantly wanting to do these quick fixes, or what can I do to make my clients' houses, get to the top, put a lot of time and money into my marketing. And I stress over my clients' houses like they're mine. It's a very, very personal for me. And so I just would pray and pray and pray and pray and just take that anxiety to God. And sometimes I would take my clients' issues and I would just, be like, okay, God, like, how do we get this house handled? What do we need from this? Not what we want, but what do we need from this?
Right.
And it just kept kind of tying in together. And sometimes I would take a step back from like marketing altogether and just like give it to God, like fast for a couple days. And then my houses are just like, boom, 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 just going under contract. So it was funny because, I can't just say, go to a listing appointment and be like, we're going to fast for a couple days and then I'm going to pray over it, whether you're a believer or not.
Right.
No, I just do it up behind the scenes. So
yeah. And you have to do all the work. Of course.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not like I can just like sit back, God expects you to, not to be lazy. That's like all through Proverbs, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's Brave and Beloved. It's this women's, amazing Bible study book. It's not just for women. These women were in the Bible. They break it down. And so we're just kind of going one story after the next, starting from Eve and ending all the way, I believe, past Bathsheba and, keeps going from there. So, Lady with the Blood and just so many amazing stories, which I love.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things that you said, which I completely agree with, is that a lot of times you ask God for what you want, but he gives you what you need.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like every time. Now, sometimes what you want and what you need align, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes,
a lot of times it doesn't.
And it doesn't. It really is where your heart aligns, So, and I think that's hard because sometimes people want to put Jesus as a genie, they put him in this box. Like if I can sit there and tell God, what's in my heart and what I need, he's going to provide for it. And then when he doesn't, oh, you're not real and I'm angry. It's kind of this, just tug
like you
of
said,
war.
like a genie. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
And really what it's about is getting your heart aligned correctly with what God wants for you.
Right.
And what God wants for you is really, patience, slow to anger, being kind, helping others. Those are the things he wants for you.
Right.
Because those are what really bring good joy. And, anxiety is, creating because you're constantly needing more, especially in the world we live today.
Yes.
Where nothing is enough and too much is too much. It's just, it's so chaotic, the world we live in.
And we're bombarded every time we turn on any kind of just different device or even just look at a bus stop or anything. There's some kind of advertisement, something you need a brand new car, you need brand new clothes or shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
So
it's
nothing
frustrating.
is ever enough.
It's hard because you really do need to slow down. I'm a mom of 3 boys and
I have 3 boys also.
You do? Yeah. So the life. They're constantly eating you out of house and home, I'm sure.
Yes.
And, now we're going back to school shopping and it's a lot. Like, there's not like I can just sit there and be like, oh, hey, God, like I don't need to work and you're just going to, provide. And sometimes he does, and he does those amazing, gifts, but he does expect you, to work and, work fruitfully, you know? So it's hard because you really want to teach your children that what the world is teaching you is not the right path.
Right.
It's never going to be enough. It's an empty vessel. So you're going to keep filling it and filling it, and it's going to just create emptiness.
Yeah.
We've lived the life. Like, there's been so many things that I've gotten, my wishes for, and the things that I've really, really wanted, and I've got them. And then, like, a year later, I'm like, well, I didn't even want this.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel good.
Kind of the shine wears off.
Totally.
Yeah.
And it falls off quickly.
Yeah.
Like, the moment you get it, you're like, or the moment you put money into it, like, you can love it. And then as soon as you make it a job, then
it's old then.
It becomes, it becomes icky.
What's next?
Yeah. Or, okay, great. I've already filled this goal. Now what's the next goal? You're just constantly pushing that, level up to higher. And then you're empty.
Mm-hmm.
It never will be enough.
Right.
Which I guess is good for work ethic because it will make you, constantly strive for more. But when it comes to, I feel, the world versus what God's asking for you, they're two totally different answers.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to sit back. And for me personally, when I was really diving into like what God had called for me and what he wants for me, it was really removing a lot of worldly stuff.
Yeah.
And I just didn't need all of it anymore. I didn't need to be the number one real estate agent where everyone knew my name. Like I didn't need to have 15 deals going on at one time. I mean, I have 10 and 13 and that's enough. It's just weird because your mind shifts to something else.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like even the things that I were asking for are still happening, but then I'm not focused on it.
Right.
I'm focused on him. And then somehow the other things are kind of aligning.
Right. It's what you're filling yourself with.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I do believe that I'm able to do stuff like this, like spreading the gospel and also do real estate because real estate funds a lot of like these things, like the nonprofits that I give to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really involved in Paws Without Borders, which helps, dogs that are going to be euthanized at the shelter. So they're pulling them out and then, they're helping them with training. It's an amazing nonprofit.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with nonprofits. Tucson has the most per capita and we are an amazing little town. Like we have a big heart. So I'm constantly like, who's the next nonprofit? Like, where are we going with this? And then I become like obsessed. Like I definitely am obsessed with dogs.
Yeah.
If you're on my Facebook or Instagram, you're going to constantly see like a dog that's optional for your new forever home. But just because I think the most vulnerable are my passion. I love, going to assistant livings and, playing poker with them on, Wednesdays.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, just really seeing like our most vulnerable. And I don't want them to ever get taken advantage of. And unfortunately, that goes with, our elderly, our young, and our pets.
Yeah.
Those are the three that are very vulnerable.
Right.
And so my heart is just really big about like trying to protect them at all costs.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
That's cool. One of the things that we were talking about is we both have 3 boys.
Yeah.
And we were talking about them eating you out of house and home.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was many years ago. I was complaining to my wife about that. And she said, you know what? Someday they're not going to be here. They're going to be out on their own and we're going to be here by ourselves.
Yeah.
So just, cherish that.
Oh, yeah. No, I tell them they're not allowed to leave. Like, I have 3.5 acres. I'm already building the compound. And honestly, I don't think that they are going to leave me. I think they're like slightly obsessed with like never. I'm like, go to college, go like have fun, go to missionary trips. And they kind of got like one eye, like, maybe I'll go, but I'm coming right back here. Like, I'm not leaving until I'm 24, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay. So we'll see when girlfriends come in the picture, and then I think it'll be a different story. But
definitely.
I mean, I've always told them that no matter where they leave, I will buy a house right next to them and just be like that crazy mom that's like, hey guys, making breakfast, get up. So
it's also amazing. All 3 of my boys have completely different. They're just completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're raised in the same house, the same mom and dad, and, same grandparents, same uncles and aunts and everything.
Yeah.
But they're all completely different.
How old are yours?
28, 26, and 20.
Okay, so you're kind of past that. Mine are 16, 12, and 7. Okay. So very different,
different stages in their life. Yeah.
My oldest one is really big into jiu-jitsu. So is my husband.
Okay.
So they're big, I would say jiu-jitsu, every boy should do. Every girl should do. I mean, the self-defense is amazing. 2 kids have tried to like fight my son, and that didn't go well for them.
Right.
So,
and plus they get the discipline.
Yeah, you do get the discipline.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't start the fight. The kids came after him, and he protected himself real well. We were actually proud. So we're like, way to go. This is what it's for. He didn't do anything like to like hurt anybody, but he did get them into a position where they couldn't do anything, and then you're tapping the kids like tapping out. I'm like, I don't think you can tap out in a street fight, but good. I'm glad no one got hurt.
Right.
But then my 12-year-old is really into football, so he's a big Dolphins football in Oro Valley.
Oh, okay, cool, very good.
And then my 7-year-old hasn't figured that out yet. So yeah, I don't know. He just likes his mama in his bed.
Ah, okay. He doesn't gravitate towards the older brothers and want to do what they're doing. And that's how my youngest one was. He kind of skipped a stage of being small because he wanted to be with his big brothers.
My middle one did that for sure. He jumped. Like there was no like baby stage with him.
Yeah.
I don't know like what happened. Like I was just like, wait, what do you mean you're doing tackle football at 8 years old? Like I was so mad at my husband. And then my 7-year-old runs around the house and says, "I'm the favorite because I'm the baby." So he's just
my
very
two
into
older
it.
kids say that our favorite is the baby. Well, they say that he gets away with everything, or he did get away with everything.
I feel like they do though.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to deny it, but I mean, I'm like,
well, with the older kids, and especially because you're a younger parent, you have your first kid and you're like, oh, nothing can happen to them. I'm going to wrap them in bubble wrap and make sure that nothing ever hurts them. And then by the last one, you're like, you're good. Get up. You're a different parent with each one of your children. It's just how it is. And every child has a different personality that either makes you, drives you crazy or it actually like helps you grow. Yeah.
So I do see the relationship on each one of my children where I'm like, I really struggle with this frustration with this child. And then I struggle with this frustration with this child. And then just trying to be like, okay, God, like, where do you want me to strengthen? And, also put in their place, as a mom of boys, being like, hey, respect and, respect your authority, respect your mother, and then also give them the freedom to grow and become who they are supposed to be. So, I mean, my middle one's ornery, like very, very ornery.
Oh, wow.
And I don't think we will ever break that from him.
Just his personality.
It's just, he's strong-willed, but he also has like a heart of a lion and will protect anybody that is, getting bullied. I mean, he does not like that. He will be the first person who, if a child is like on their own to be like, hey, come hang out with us. So he's got a really, really big heart, but then he's also very fiery. So he probably gets that from me. And then my youngest one just like very smart, like brilliant, but hates school.
Got it.
He doesn't want to even go to camp, wants to do nothing. I mean, when I say he likes his mama and he likes his bed, those are the things that he likes.
Wow. Well, with that, David, let's take a quick sponsor break. We will be back in just a couple minutes.
I've had water and mold damage in my house twice. Both times I freaked out, but I called Steamy Concepts right away. If anyone tries to tell you to use someone else, just say no way and call Steamy today.
About a year ago, we had a flood in our kitchen, and we didn't think to call anyone else but Steamy Concepts. They were very professional, and we really enjoyed working with Steamy Concepts.
Steamy Concepts accepts all homeowners insurance. Call Steamy today or go to steamyconcepts.com.
Therapeutic Ranch for Animals and Kids is an inclusive community empowered and united by the strength of the human-animal bond.
It taught me responsibility. It taught me kindness and social interaction.
We have programs for every member of our community.
I love track because I have 2 daughters. We come out here and get all of our energy out.
Track is my home away from home.
You can make a donation or even become a monthly donor.
Thank you for supporting Track, Tucson's Ranch. We hope to see you here soon.
It's July and we're celebrating Independence Day all month. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing wants to buy your old air conditioning unit. For the month of July, we will buy back your old AC unit for $1,776 with the purchase and installation of a new air conditioning system. Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, keeping you cool all summer long. Call us at 520-492-0748 or picturerockspooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Steady Insurance on Irvington Road will help you with all your insurance needs. If you feel like you have a hard case due to a moving violation, a DUI, a suspended license or a car accident, contact us and come to Steady Insurance on Irvington Road and get a quote today. Open late hours y hablamos español. Estrella Insurance, an agency you can trust.
Looking for a delicious meal or a place to cater your next event? Visit Tucson Tamale Market, located at 7286 North Oracle Road. They're a family-friendly restaurant and market offering authentic tamales and local products. Don't miss out on their summer bi-weekly specials. Try a new $10.99 meal special every couple of weeks. During the summer, enjoy their gift card special. Buy $50 of gift cards for only $40. Stop by and see what's new at Tucson Tamale Market.
In Marana, community isn't just where we live, it's who we are. And at the heart of it all is the Marana Chamber of Commerce. We are building a thriving community through connected business leadership. We start the month bright and early with Marana Mornings, sparking real conversations and connections. We celebrate growing networks at our 4th Tuesday mixers, hosted in exciting spaces. We unite visionaries and leaders at Impact Marana, driving meaningful progress together. We look ahead with Marana Insights, hearing directly from regional voices about what's next for our town. And we serve through the passion of our board of directors and ambassadors, creating a culture of belonging through service and leadership. Because of our members, we're not just doing more, we're becoming more. Together, we're shaping the future of Marana. We are the Marana Chamber of Commerce.
All right, we were back. We were just having a huge conversation off air.
That's where we do it.
That's
secrets.
Right. So that was pretty cool. You were telling me that you used to have a podcast, you used to be on the radio. I mean, you have a lot of experience behind the microphone.
Yeah, I do. My dad ran radio stations when I was younger. So it's kind of been my life. I've always been into, the world of, radio and Hollywood. And I was in the great outdoors. I had John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. I was on their shoulders. I got cut. So don't look for me.
Right.
But I do have proof because I've got photos. So every time my kids are like, no, you weren't. I'm like, yes, I was. I knew John Candy. I knew Dan Aykroyd. I had John Stamos. Like we would grow up with like so many different stars. So it was a really amazing experience because you just got to see how they were real people.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
All the time.
Yes.
Because especially with radio, there's nothing, there weren't cameras. They didn't have, YouTube and podcasts back then. So you're just, two people behind a mic, which was cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, and then I was bartending in San Luis Obispo, and Clear Channel president came in, and he liked my voice and was like, "Give me a commercial in like 20 seconds." And I was like, "Okay, weirdo, hold up, like what do you really want?"
Right.
And then I did, and because I was 20 and just was willing to do anything.
Yeah, why not?
I was like, okay. And so he gave me his card, and he was like, "Be on the show. I want to try you out on one of the shows in the morning." And so I went. I took a friend because I was like, I don't know if this is real.
Right.
And so I walked in, and he had me do kind of like a prank call, with somebody. And then he had me right on the air. So it was fun. It was cool.
That was the very beginning.
It was I would say it was the beginning, but I've been watching this since my dad was, I was like 6 years old, watching him. He was never he would sometimes be on the mic, but mostly he was doing production and doing ad space and all of that stuff. So, yeah, but I got to go to all the concerts and watch, all the shows go. So I got to kind of learn how it went.
And you got to learn how it actually is being done behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, that was right around with the Janet Jackson fiasco. So they did have like a delay, like a 15-second delay.
Right.
So it wasn't technically live.
Yeah.
You did radio.
Right. So they had their finger on the button just in case someone said.
Just in case. Yeah. So we were always kind of in a delay. And then, so when we were doing live, we were always just in case, because I think I did do an S-bomb one time.
Oh, did you?
And production immediately was like, Blaire, don't, you can't be on air and say stuff like that. I was like, can't you beep it out, And they were like, no. So, which they did, but they were wanting me to make sure I was really.
Yeah. They didn't want to have their finger on the button.
I was a college kid. I didn't know, I was just like, what are we talking about? The bar, like we had something, and then they would make me do a lot of prank calls. I was definitely the prank call queen.
So when you started on radio, did you see it going anywhere?
My life.
Or was it just a college
job?
I
think it could have.
Yeah.
It really could have. I was good at it. I think I had a lot going on. I had, I was raising myself at that point. I had to, pay for my, my car. I had to pay for school. I had to pay for my lifestyle. It wasn't like I was just sitting there, vacation kid. So I had to like really work. And with radio, it was an internship that I was trying to turn into, a paid job.
Sure. Yeah.
I think they kind of took advantage of, me being young.
Right.
And so I really needed to pay the bills. So I had 3 jobs at that time. I was bartending at night. I was grooming, dogs, and pets like in the morning. I was, what else was I doing? I was doing ad space and media. So I would do a lot of the commercial work.
Okay.
So once I started doing that, then I started getting paid better. So then I was like, oh, okay, this, could be really fun. And then I think they wanted me to move to Clear Channel's San Diego sector, which I should have taken and done. But, there's always a boy, there's always a boy who makes you make silly mistakes.
Okay.
So I should have got rid of the boy and taken the job, but I didn't. And then, we broke up later, thankfully, but it was, it's always a boy. It's always a boy. Make you make dumb mistakes.
Usually it's always a girl, but
yeah, right. I know. For you, it never is. I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, you got to stay focused. Because, man, love can be a distraction. Lust can be even more of a distraction. So you really want to, really
you tell your younger sons, you're like, you're going to make some really dumb mistakes when you're teenagers.
Yeah.
Like and a lot of times it's because of a girl.
It's always because of the opposite sex. Let's be real. That's what relationships are. You make really stupid mistakes and you end up with a person who's willing to forgive you for doing the stupid mistakes.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. It's not, I try to tell my friends when they're, in their single life, and I said, listen, it's not the person who's going to, you see the best qualities in. It's the person you see their worst qualities and you're okay with them. That's really what it is, because the best qualities can, either be developed into better qualities and they can, or they can kind of go away.
Yeah.
But those bad qualities, you're like, can I work with this? Can these get better? And if they don't get better, are we okay with those qualities and with each other? It's hard to realize you're not perfect,
Yeah. Right.
I'm perfect. You need work, and we're going to both work on you together. That's kind of what it comes down to. But at the end of the day, relationships, they teach us a lot.
Oh yeah.
And if I would have had more boundaries and probably a little more Jesus in my life back then, I probably would have, made better decisions. But I didn't.
Right. But that's where you learn.
Yeah, I learned a lot
from your bad decisions.
Yeah, thankfully, I'm still here to tell it because, I definitely I had some crazy stories and, lived the life of a, radio DJ and a bartender.
Oh, wow.
You don't get really more than that. And so, we were, constantly with stars and, doing fun things. And I don't think we had responsibilities besides to show up for work. So that was it. And my work was a party. So
nice.
Yeah. But again, I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, hey, you're going to fall in love multiple times in your life. And if you can sit there and just make sure you get to be friends first, friends are key. And, really get to know who they are, because it's very easy to get distracted and caught up in looks and, the physical part because you're attracted to one. And attraction can go. It can grow and it can go. So.
Exactly.
I'm sure you know how that goes. You got the older boys now.
Yeah, I got the older ones. Yep. So tell us about your show real quick, just when it is and how people can catch it.
Mondays on, we're now on the network at,
we are.
Yeah. So
Live the Dream Network.
Media. Yeah, I'm excited. And so we are, if you guys want to pick this book, I don't know if you can see it. It's Brave and Beloved. You can get it on Amazon. And so what we're doing is an in-depth study of the women in the Bible. And we're just breaking it down. We're going to be there, an hour. I'm going to have guests on, and it's I believe you can get it on Spotify and all of the platforms. But you're going to really see us
So Mondays
live.
At 10:30?
Monday at 10:30.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's an hour long?
Yeah. It's an hour long. So
all right.
I know. I'm really excited. I'm excited to break down the Bible.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been I'm not perfect. I've had my plenty of stories and I've lived, a pretty crazy life, and Jesus loves me. And I think, my goal right now is just to get people to get excited about the Bible again and break it down and realize, you don't have to come perfect.
Yeah. Well, none of those people in the Bible were perfect.
Not
except for Jesus,
all.
of course. But.
And you really get to see that struggles have been happening for women from the beginning.
Sure.
This has been the same kind of things that are happening today, and even a worse, different form. So it's really relatable.
Right.
And
you have everything in the Bible. You have lust, and you have stealing, and you have murder, and you have abuse.
Yeah.
And,
polygamy.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple wives. You feel defeated. You feel, where are you? I mean, there's so many different questions and feelings that these women go through. And, a lot of them are heroes, and, they've got amazing strength. And I'm excited to go over it.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
And thank you for having me.
All right. Well, check out Southwest Flavor every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. Check out Blaire on every Monday at 10:30 a.m. We will see you later this week.